Hello crafty friends, Carrie here. Today's project is to alter a Dollar Tree charger plate. So I took this out of a paper pad and I cut the circle out. I have a Martha Stewart circle cutter, but if you didn't have this, you could do something like set a plate or something that's the same size and use that to trace, and then cut your circle out. If you make an X like I did here so that you divide your paper in half, then you know where the center is so that you can center whatever you're using to cut with. So what we will do is decoupage this into the middle of the plate. You could use anything that you like, and you don't necessarily have to do it the same as I am doing it here. So I'm going to start with this Craft Smart paint in fuchsia, and I'm just going to squirt some on and use a foam brush and start painting the plate. Okay, so I'm just going to squirt some on the plate, and I'm just going to take a foam brush from the Dollar Tree and just start spreading this around the plate. It will take several coats of paint to do this. I should have put gesso on it or something first. It might would have taken a few less coats, but that's okay. It's just cheap craft paint anyway. It's not an expensive paint. Okay, so I'm just going to take my heat tool to speed up the drying a little bit so I can go on to the next coat. Okay, so just do another coat of paint. And I am painting the center. I end up not doing the center with as many coats because you're not really going to see the center after I decoupage my saying on. So I'm just going to keep doing this, layering it and using my heat gun to dry it. You can also let it dry naturally if you want to between coats. I just am using the heat gun because I am doing a video. I'm taking a little black distress ink and I'm going around the edge because this paper is not a solid. It's a print on white, and I don't want the white line to show. So I just decided to do some distress ink around the edge while I'm waiting to do the next coat of paint, which I'm getting ready to do. And I'm going to take a smaller brush now and just squirt it out on my mat. Use a regular art brush. It makes a bit heavier coat than using a foam brush. And since I got my first couple of layers on, I decided just to go with this and try to get a better coat going. There are so many different ways that you can alter a Dollar Tree charger plate. I find it just to be a lot of fun to kind of see what I come up with. I had thought about doing a crackle, but then I decided not to. That was back when I was debating between different prints that I might use, and I had thought about using a lighter print, and I thought about doing a more shabby chic, but then I decided to go with this darker print. So anyway, just keep doing the layers of paint until you have a good covering. it is starting to get a good coat now. And I will actually let this dry off camera and then do one more coat before I come back to do the next step. Okay, so I'm going to do the next step. I'm going to use this Folk Art Glitterific paint. I've got this at Hobby Lobby. It's about $5 for the bottle, but I did use a 40% off coupon when I bought it. This is a very thick, very sparkly, very shiny paint. And I think it's going to look really pretty on this. It's a very thick paint, and so you do have to kind of work it. It doesn't spread. It's more like a gel, I guess. It doesn't spread like a regular acrylic paint spreads. So here in a minute, I'm going to get tired of dipping my brush, and I'm going to plop some out on my mat. As you can see, it's a very thick paint. Like I said, it's more of a gel. You can kind of see that when I get some out here on my mat. Okay. So anyway, I'm just going to take this and put it on. You could get a similar effect if you were to use some Mod Podge or a gel medium and then sprinkle it with glitter. But this actually has flakes of foil in it. And I just really like the way it looks. And so I'm just going to come around here. I'm going to get a good coat, and I'm going to do the inside rim. I'm not going to do the center of the plate, but I do the little rim part. So once we get this done, then we will use some Mod Podge and put the piece from the paper pad into the middle of this. I hope you guys will try altering a charger plate. It is a lot of fun. I haven't decided where I'm going to put this yet. I'm thinking I might put it in my office, or maybe I will keep it in my craft room. I don't know. Now, on this video, I don't add a hanger, but if you wanted to add a hanger to this, you want to put your hanger on the ridge in the back, not up near the top, otherwise it won't hang evenly. And I probably will just get a picture hanger and use some E6000 to attach it. Or if you don't have E6000, at the Dollar Tree, in the, I believe it's over in the hardware section, they have a tube of adhesive that comes in a yellow that says it does metal. It works good. It's very similar to E6000. Smells very similar to, it may be the exact same thing. Okay, I'm just making sure that I get all the edges and that I don't have any little missed gaps. And we will be doing the Mod Podge here in just a moment. I do actually let this dry for a moment off camera and then come back to do the Mod Podge. So for the Mod Podge, I'm just going to pour some in the middle of my plate. And I'm just going to take a foam brush and just start coming around. And I just want to get this center coated well so that my paper will stick down. Now you don't want to have like a puddle, but you do want a good amount because Scrapbook paper is fairly heavy, and you do want to get it to adhere good. So I just kind of work this all around in the center. And I realize I have a little bit too much, so I just use my brush to pick some of that back up and scrape it back into the container. Okay. Now we're going to just put this in, and I really like this. Don't be like the rest of them, darling. And so I put that down, and then I'm going to take a clean foam brush and just really start smoothing it, and I do get my bone folder and work it as well. You want to make sure you have it completely in contact and flat. So you really want to rub it around and make sure you have it down good. And then once you're sure you have it down good, you can go ahead and finish the Mod Podge. Okay, I do take my heat gun and just move it around a bit to kind of go ahead and set up the Mod Podge underneath so that I can move on to doing the Mod Podge in the middle of the plate and finishing this process. Okay, so now I'm going to take Mod Podge and I'm going to cover the top of this, and I also bring it out and cover the edges of the plate. And you want a fairly good coat. It doesn't have to be super heavy, but you do want a fairly good coat. And just take your time. Try to get your brush strokes all going in the same direction, which on a round plate is not super easy. There will be brush strokes. I don't know any way to do Mod Podge and not have brush strokes. I don't find that it matters what kind of brush you use. So I just continue working this until I get it completely coated. Okay, so I've about got the first coat on, and I will let it dry for a few minutes, and then I will do a second coat. Okay, so the first coat has dried, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a second coat. And I'm just going to kind of pour a little bit around, and then I just take my brush and come in and give it a second coat. And then this is where I will bring it on out onto the edges of the plate and coat them as well. And then I will let this completely dry, and I will come back in and I decorate it with some flowers and some butterflies, which I will show you the final product here in a moment. I don't actually decorate on camera. I decorate it off of camera. You do want to let it dry completely before adding any other decorations to it. So I add flowers and butterflies, and I take some pearl trim and go right around the edge, which you're going to see here. Okay, so here is the completed plate. See all that shine and sparkle? And I just have an assortment of flowers in there and a butterfly. And you can see the pearl trim that I did right around the edge of the saying. I think it came out really pretty. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you click the bell, you'll get notifications when I post new videos. As always, thank you for visiting, and have a happy, crafty, wonderful day.